How do you do that? How do you be an actor and a musician at the same time in a production?
Well, comedy comes when a director asks you to play something and sing something or say something and walk and move at the same time. So that can be quite comedy, trying to do all of that at the same time. So how do you do that? Lots of practice. Break things down. So make sure you know your words. Make sure you know the music, the fingering on whatever it might be, or if you're using a trombone or a saxophone, whatever it might be, get it all really learnt and then start to mesh it all together.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of this. You've got to get good at, walking with your instrument, singing, playing, dancing at the same time. There's definitely that aspect of it. I think it's also going to a rehearsal room thinking I'm not just a performer, I'm also a creative, because you might be assigned tasks by a director to go away and compose for the piece. You might just experiment with what instruments can bring. If there's a character who's got a really fast inner tempo, you might be asked to experiment what happens if we get some drums and we play them in the background to help the actor maybe make some choices they might not make if there's no music. So I think it's going in and thinking I'm going to bring all my resources, bring my instruments, bring my creativity, and remain open-minded and also do a bit of juggling.
An actor-musician is an actor with the facility to play music. So in a play, I think that if you come with something, with some kind of music, a lot of the work that I've done has been, the music has been devised for the piece, and the director said, okay, here you go, do something, this kind of mood. I think an actor-musician, you just have to be adaptable. You have to know your instrument very well, and you have to be able to adapt to the production.
As an actor-musician, how do you prepare for a rehearsal?
So for me to prepare, I need to make sure that my lip is in with regard to playing the trombone. So the muscles here, I have to be practicing before day one of rehearsals, because in some jobs you don't know what you're going to play. It might be a devised piece, so you're creating it in the room, or it might be something that you don't get the dots for it until it arrives. So you just have to be prepared there. In other ways, like with the double bass, I have to think about how I'm going to get it there, because it's a big instrument. I need to make sure I've got rosin for the bow, like wax for the bow to make the strings sing. If you're a guitarist, you have to have replacement strings.
It depends, really. If I know there's going to be lots of composing, stuff like that, I think it's really good to get familiar with the play. Think to yourself, what does the play need? What's the sound world of that? Where's this play set? If it's set in a city, what kind of instruments do you want to bring to rehearsal? Maybe lots of electronic music, but if it's, set in sort of Soviet Russia, maybe you want to bring something like a violin. So I think it's having a think to yourself about what does the atmosphere of this play need to be, or this production need to be. So I think a lot of preparation for me is thinking about that. And also, if I know I've got to play a certain instrument and I haven't picked it up in a while, I need to get practicing. So I think that's probably my prep.
I think it depends on the project. I've worked in projects where you are given the music before, and the MD has said to you, well, go away, come back with it learned. It's kind of like as an actor with your lines, to go away and come back with it learned, ready to rehearse. But then there's other projects where they want you to bring as much as possible, all your instruments, and we'll make something. So I think it just purely depends on the project.